4 foreign nationals held hostage in the violence-torn West African nation of Burkina Faso are now safe after a daring nighttime raid by French special forces. 2 French soldiers were killed during Friday's rescue operation, carried out under cover of darkness, alongside French troops hunting terrorists in the Sahel region. French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed 3 of the hostages as they arrived in Paris today after being set free. 2 of the captives were abducted from a popular safari attraction in neighboring Benin more than a week earlier.
The kidnappers were moving the hostages across the desert in very, very remote areas.
One of the rescued hostages thanked French forces for freeing them from hell, as he put it, and offered condolences to the soldiers who were killed. American intelligence helped locate those French tourists in Burkina Faso. To their surprise, they also found an American woman and a South Korean woman being held with them. This incident follows the possible abduction of Canadian tourist Edith Blay, who vanished in Burkina Faso in December. Burkina Faso's government has backed up reports that say Blay was kidnapped and taken to neighboring Mali. The Canadian government has never confirmed those reports and hasn't said if they're treating her disappearance as a kidnapping. Today, Blay is still missing. The American and South Korean had been in captivity for nearly a month, though it's unclear how they ended up as hostages. But U.S. officials are now out with an urgent warning for travelers to the Pendjari National Park about potential attacks and kidnappings.
Places where safaris are conducted are very remote. They can be dangerous. There can be crime. There can be terrorism. So when people go on these vacations, they need to understand that this is not like going to Disneyland.
France's defense minister issuing a stark warning to terrorists in the Sahel region.
Ceux qui s'attaquent à la France et aux Français.
Those who attack France and the French know that we will spare no effort to track them and take them out, she said. We will never abandon our citizens. It is not yet clear who may be responsible for this kidnapping, but there has been a resurgence of both ISIS and Al-Qaeda in the Sahel. This week, UN officials warned that insecurity and armed attacks in the Sahel region were reaching unprecedented levels. The French president has repeatedly called on Western powers to help fund a counterterrorism force known as the G5 Sahel, but experts still see it as heavily dependent on French firepower.